Hello, hello. Good evening, everyone. Good evening. I am Latrina Hunter, and I'm here with my girl, Nikki Jewell,
Hey, everybody.
and Latanya Michelle.
What's up, y'all?
And today we do have a very deep topic. We are talking about mental illness in 2020. And hello, Shauna. Hello, Angie. Thank you guys for joining. We truly appreciate you guys. So one of the reasons we chose this topic is just because it's so much going on in 2020 and COVID and just everything going on. We just wanted to check the pulse, if you will, of everyone's mental stability and where people, mindset is and where we think we are. But I just wanted to start off giving the definition, well, the dictionary definition, of course, Webster's, of mental illness. And they are health conditions involving changes in emotions, thinking, or behavior, or a combination of all three. Mental illnesses are associated with distress and or problems functioning in social, work, or family activities. Mental illness is very common. And I found that to be when it said common, I found that to be truthful, first of all, just based off myself and family and girlfriends that we've talked about. But what does mental illness mean to you? We know what it means, of course, in the dictionary, but what does it mean to you, Nikki?
Mental health means to me that something that is classified as, how do I put this? Let me get it together. Something is classified as something that you actually go through mentally that is not normal per se. Like there's so many levels to this thing. Some people hear voices. Some people are depressed. When I think of mental health, I think so many things: bipolar, depression, anxiety, nervousness. What else? That's the same kind of as anxiety. Feeling feeling not wanted, and where it actually, when all of those feelings come together and actually make you want to react or do something, sometimes to yourself or to others.
What about you, Latanya? What does it mean to you?
I think I would just say off balance. When you're off balance from your norm. You know what I mean? Sometimes it's a chemical off balance, sometimes it's like emotionally or spiritual off balance, but it's something that makes you off balance from your normal, that you cannot think normally how you would think.
I would agree. I agree with both of you, but mostly, yeah, it's to me, when I think of it, I think of you're not your normal self, whatever, and you know what your normal self is.
Right.
So if you
Right.
don't feel like you're that, normal person, then it could be some mental, things going on as well. Do you guys think you have to be clinically diagnosed as having mental problems in order to have mental issues? Do you have to be diagnosed as bipolar or a depressive person or high anxiety or any of that to really have those feelings and go through those experiences?
I would say no, because I think that a lot of us are going through it now, with the pandemic, the the pandemic alone has created a multitude of issues for a lot of people. A lot of different things are up. I just heard on the news today that suicide rate is up. I don't know what that's all about per se, but just this pandemic, has me feeling some kind of way. I'm anxious now when I'm out sometimes, depending on where I am. I never felt like that before. I'm a party person. But now, once I see too many people, like I'm like, I'm starting to feel some kind of way. And then just, the pressure to be to maintain. There's people out here that can't even maintain now because of maybe their job, something happened with the job, or lack of employment, and with that went some of their insurances, and trying to get through to people, and it's funny, the government offices, they're all shut down and stuff. They're not going back to work. So trying to get services, regular human services, you can't get that unless you call and line up for hours. And I mean, it's just too much. Relationships, now you stuck with that person. You've been quarantined.
Or vice versa. You have no one.
Yeah.
So that can be an issue.
So many layers.
Right. Yeah, I don't think you have to be clinically diagnosed. Again, it goes back to if you feel like you're off, and for me, even before COVID, I suffer with anxiety, just high anxiety all the time, and like I said, that's way before COVID. I think I had that back in high school and college. So I definitely don't think you, have to be diagnosed. And I even remember, going to the doctor and telling my doctor that I was having these feelings. And the first thing they want to do is put you on medication. The first thing he wanted to do. And I'm like, no, I didn't come here for that. I just came here to see if it was some things that I could personally do outside of medication. But that's like the first thing they want to do. And that's why people don't even want to tell doctors, or anyone else. And then you add COVID on top of that, and you're right. It's just a whole different trigger. So I get it. Latanya, do you think you have to be clinically diagnosed in order to? Yeah, we kind of all agree on that.
I think it's something that we all deal with. Period. I think we've been dealing with it for years, and we just never had a title to it. I think our grandparents dealt with it. Slaves probably dealt with it and stuff, and we never had a title for it. And now we have a title for it, and even though there's levels to it that most of us will never understand, but I do believe that all of us deal with it in some form of another. Yeah.
Right. Do you have any? Well, first of all, do you ladies feel like you have? Well, Latanya, you kind of already answered that. You feel like we all do have some form of mental, and I hate to say illness, because I mean, I don't feel like I have a mental illness. I just feel like I got some mental shit going on. But I don't know if that's an illness. I don't know. But based on what I read, from the dictionary, I have a mental illness, because it says if you have problems dealing socially, work, and all that. So I guess I do have that, because I do struggle. I would say every day, every single day, I feel like I have some form of mental instability, if that's even a word. Probably not. Let's say unstable behavior. That's okay. I feel like I have that throughout the course of the day at some point in time. And I think that when things occurred, like you said, the government shut down, my business works. I get my contracts solely from the government. So I'm not getting any contracts. And, it's, oh my God, I prayed this week. I don't think I ever prayed this hard. I really do not, just really for my mental stability, because I don't feel stable at all. And then COVID, I live alone. So it's like, who am I talking to? Talking to nobody.
You need a doll. You need a doll, baby.
Right. Everybody keeps saying I need a dog, but then I'm like, when the world opened back up, I ain't gonna want the dog. So
That's true.
I probably shouldn't even go down that road. But I do feel like, and then I take on other people's issues. So I'm taking on my issues, and then I have to not have to take on, but that's just how I'm set up, and I'm working on that, not to take on other people's issues. But all that makes me unstable. And every little thing is a trigger. I'm telling you. I was watching, my aunts and sisters and I watching a show called The Riviera. I don't even know what happened. I just bust out, start crying. Ma was like, "What is these kids wrong with you?" I was like, so I'm definitely going through it. I mean, definitely going through it. And I haven't seen my family as much as I normally would throughout the year, because of COVID, you can't really travel. I mean, it's just a lot, it's a lot. So every little thing is a trigger for me. Everything.
Yeah, I've actually seen I've seen stories about that. A lot of people have talked about how they can't just see their mom and dads, let alone God forbid if you are in the hospital, you can't even go see people.
Right.
So many people that had COVID actually passed away alone. And that's sad. And how the nurses was doing the FaceTime with the family and stuff. On behalf of the person, it was terrible. Let's shout out some people real quick. Hey, Shauna, Angie, I think Melanie, Rondell, what's up, babe? Angela, Stephanie. Stephanie said, I believe you should be diagnosed. Being sad or depressed is a normal action of life. When it comes to where you feel you can't handle it, you should be diagnosed. And she put parentheses medicated. Hello, Miss Wilcox.
Wait. Being sad.
We're gonna go back to her. Give me a second. Candace, sound like me, huh? Okay, Miss Wilcox said, this has been a stressful time for all of us, and I appreciate you ladies talking about this. Yeah, we thought about that. Hey, Genevieve. Okay, so
wait, and you skip my dad, because if you skip him, Devon Triplett, Lord have mercy, if you skip my dad.
Hi.
We love you, Pop.
Daddy. Okay. I thought I wasn't sure, so
that's him.
Okay. So let's see. Rondell said real quick, I avoid the news and all negativity around me. It can become stressful. But Latanya, I think you wanted to address Stephanie's comment. I'm guessing when she particularly said when it comes to where you feel you can't handle it, you should be diagnosed and in parentheses medicated.
But I actually was tripping about the part that was before that when she said something about every day being sad, depressed.
No, she said, I believe you should be diagnosed. Being sad or depressed is a normal action of life. But when it comes to where you can handle it,
is that really? I don't think it's a normal action. I don't think I don't think being sad should be normal.
Well, I do think you have sad moments. I don't think she's saying that you're sad every day, all day. I don't. And Stephanie, I'm speaking for you. If that's wrong, then, if I'm speaking out of what you actually meant, then, let us know. I don't think she meant that being sad every day, all day is normal. I just think that, right. I just think she means going through life. Period.
Yeah, if something happens, it doesn't make you feel good. You might be sad,
Right. I think that's what she means. I definitely don't think she means that every day, all day is normal. Because
that's not normal.
Yeah. I don't.
But it is normal for a lot of people, though. That's what I'm saying. True. Like, people live in that and they think it's supposed to be like that, and it's like, no, it's not. Like, this is not normal, and there is an issue if everything you think is negative, or if you're always sad, or everybody's always, you really need to check it out if that's the case. That's your situation.
With Rondell, what he said is he avoids the news. I definitely avoid the news. People have to tell me even what the weather is unless I pull it up on my phone. But I don't know how you avoid negativity. I get how you avoid some of it, like negativity with just conversations with people. But I just think that if you're, like I said, I'm in a business where I rely on the government and the government is not assigning, or awarding any contracts. So
Right.
that makes me sad. And
But that's not negativity, though. That's not
It's
okay.
not
negativity. That's just a
Okay.
way
negativity.
So
of
maybe
life,
that's
right?
okay.
Negativity is when someone is coming toward for you and in a, when it's bad energy, and that's
Okay. Then
something that can't be avoided. You don't have any, you know
okay.
what I
And
mean?
we can, yeah, we
They're
can,
not coming
you're right.
purposely, intentionally. Yeah. So
Then
that's,
yeah, I can avoid
we
that.
understand this. Right. Right.
Yeah,
So
we just cut them people way out of our lives. So I get it. You're definitely right. You're right.
and I know that I'm always the one that's talking about Black folks. That's my love,
Yay!
and
Come
that's my
on.
passion. But I really think that Black folks is at the point where depression is so normal, and we don't know how to communicate, and we don't know how to talk. We don't know how to properly love. We don't know how to properly heal. And we have become professional hurt people. So we are
Yeah.
caught up in situations where we're sitting there saying one thing and hurting inside. I mean,
Right.
hurting from our past pain, like from when we were 6 years old, we're still dealing with it and we're 50. You know what I mean? And so I think that that's a big role. And like, I know I got this hat on, I got the red lipstick, I got this shirt on that says, true to the game, is because I had to get myself, and I'm drinking water because I always feel like water purifies your system. All
Mhm.
day, I have been dealing with depressed people. All day, I have a close friend who's very spiritual and just very together. And to hear him come to me because he's about to break down and he can't take it, that
Mm.
is hard,
Yeah.
So I'm like, as I don't have my problems is okay. I can manage my own problems right now. I'm okay. I'm learning how to deal and heal with my own issues. However, when you're around that, it jumps on you. It jumps on your spirit. It jumps on your soul, and you got to find a way not to get caught up in it because it'll trigger something in you that you're not even dealing with.
Right. Right.
That's a good point. That's a good question. Good thing you just said is find a way not to get caught up in it. Because like I
Yeah.
said earlier, I take on everybody's shit. And I take on everybody's shit because I've always taken on everybody's shit. No one asked me to. No one asked me to
Right.
do that.
Right. You gotta
I
stop
just,
doing that. Right.
yeah, I'm learning. I'm
It's a
learning.
difference. Like, I'm an empath. So it's a difference when you're there for somebody, you're there to listen, you're there to give them like spiritual advice and stuff like that. But you gotta know how to release. You need to
Yeah.
know how to get off the phone with them and go take a shower or go do whatever makes you feel good. You need to know how to meditate, talk your way out of it. You need to find someone that you love like crazy to go talk to so you don't get caught up in what they're saying. Because if not, you're going to become just like them. And you're going to go through a point in a crazy time trying to figure out what's wrong. What's wrong? It's not even you. It's that spirit that jumped off on you that belongs to them because you're so busy trying to take care of them. You can barely take care of yourself.
And
Yeah.
Those
I
people are
believe that's
called,
what's happening. I
Those people
truly,
are
truly
called
believe that.
empaths. They
yeah,
call, there's a name for
yeah,
that. It's empath
yeah.
because you have empathy
I live
for
it every
so many
day.
people, and it's kind of hard. It's hard to let go. But what winds up happening too sometimes when that term Debbie Downer and all of that comes from stuff like that. And when you embrace somebody else's stuff. And then sometimes, you can embrace somebody's stuff so much so that you don't even handle your own stuff because you're so worried
Right,
about what's going on with
right,
them and
right.
their stuff. Hey,
That's true.
Krishna, Julianica, I'm
Yeah.
saying that wrong, but Mrs. McKinney, she said her husband just had a mental breakdown because he was suffering from COVID, and she said it was hard to watch. Hey, Karen, and
Wow.
Shawnee said, check on the people you feel are the strongest. They need you. People are suffering in silence. Absolutely.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
I
Those are
yeah.
those are
Yeah.
the ones that you really have to look out for, the strong ones, because they're
Yep.
so busy helping other people
Yep.
and knowing that they have to be strong, that they don't have wait to release their own or let go. So those are the ones that will blow up and cuss you out when they finally blow because they've been holding it for so long.
Yeah, and they looking at
Or
people looking at you
right.
like,
Or
Right,
curse
like
out, or
"Come
curse out
on."
a
right,
9-year-old,
right,
or
right,
curse out a 9-year-old that might not have been for a 9-year-old. So
right, right. Like,
Oh
wait a
no.
minute, hold
yeah,
up, you know?
I'm definitely that person. I am the
Yeah.
one that the strong one that just takes on everything for everybody else. But I tell you kind of what helps me really is my faith for certain. I have to break out in prayer like every second. I do. Just thank you, Lord. Thank you, Lord. I just have to say that all the time. But it's also my girlfriends, my sister friends, because they'll get on me. You know, they'll be like, "Look, hey, Heifer, we ain't heard from you in 3 days. You ain't answered no text. What's really going on over there?" So you really have to have good circles. You have to have your faith in whatever your faith is and whatever you believe in. And my family, because my family they don't hold no punches. Again, if I don't answer the phone or answer the text in the amount of time that they feel like I should, they pulling up. So they eventually they don't. I remember when one of my grandmothers was living, and this was back when I was married. My grandmother called the police on me because I didn't answer the phone for like 5 hours. Girl, she called the police.
That's something my great grandmother would do.
Girl, she called the police to do a wellness check.
That's
And the
crazy.
police pulled up at my house, and I'm like, I'm good. I'm asleep. I just don't want to talk on the phone. But I also remember some times where I wish somebody had a came over or done, did more. So you just gotta. I just try to pray myself out of it, but I'm going through it. I am definitely
Yeah.
definitely going through it, and it's very serious.
I think everybody at this point is going through it. Rondell said, you'll have to rebuild yourself or you'll go crazy. And I have to agree
Mhm.
because I think my loved ones are the ones who gets on my nerves. My loved ones are the ones who probably hurts me the most, not strangers, not my workers. It's the ones who thinks I'm so strong and think that I can take everything, and the ones who I really love and care about. Those are the ones who hurt me the most and don't realize it. So I'm learning, I'm learning to look in the mirror and fix me, fix me because I'm learning to, you don't have to hold it in. You don't have to
Yeah.
keep protecting them. Say what's on your freaking mind and stand by that. And guess what? They either gonna take it or not because they already know that you're sincere. They already know you're a good person and that you have good intentions and stuff. So my problem was I'm so busy trying to not burn bridges, or I'm trying to keep the peace and make sure everybody's good, and that I hold in so much stuff, and I'm not doing that anymore. Like, I'm not doing that with anybody. So that's one of the things that I've said that to myself. You Part of your hurts and your pain that you experience is because you hold it in and then you're ready to blow up.
Yeah,
I don't want to blow up no more. I don't want
yeah.
to blow it up. I want to say whatever I feel, and I want to go about my business and
Yeah.
know that my intentions are always good. So I'm really working on myself.
Do you guys have conversations about your mental space with like your friends or your family? Do you have those conversations? Because I know we as girlfriends talk about a lot of things. I just know that particular conversation people may not be having. I really just
Oh
start
my
having
God.
those conversations.
Yeah, no,
Really?
I'm having them. I am definitely having them. My son one time, he he went outside and I was mad he went outside and shoot, he freaking yelled at me talking about, "Mom, I've been in the house all this time." Like he had a quick little mental breakdown talking about, "I've been in the house. You look, Mom, I didn't mean to not tell you, but I had to get out of here." You know what
Right.
I'm saying? 'Cause of course, I'm like, you stay, but he was like, "Mom, I had to get out." I was like, you know what? I didn't think of it like that. I said,
Right.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry because I went off. So, but he had to turn around and say something to me, and yeah, but also too with the girlfriends, my mom, you know, my mother, my whole family is in New York. Everybody pretty much. I'm a transplant out here, and pretty much all my family is in New York. So when New York was hit really bad with the COVID, you know, I'm calling my mother because I get my social butterfly isms from my mother. So I'm like, Ma, I need you to stay in the house. She told me she had a hazmat suit on and everything else, but you know, she would just go to the store and come back. But
Right.
yeah,
Right.
but you know, yeah, it's nerve wracking. It's nerve wracking. But yeah, we do have these conversations, and a lot of us, when we talk, we definitely talk about therapy. We talk about how so much stuff comes from our childhood. Krishna, that's to you. She said everything starts from the childhood, which
I
I
agree.
believe that to be true. But in what's going on now, yeah, I feel like you have to talk about it. How can you not talk about it? And I do believe that nowadays, unlike back in the days when, you know, we didn't talk about when we had problems in family and all that, I think now because we have the likes of social media, internet and all that other stuff like that, now we're more informed. Now we know that it's okay to have issues and stuff like that. I mean, I don't know about you ladies, but I mean, there's a plethora of commercials on mental health and taking things, and you know, now it's like having a cold. It's like
Second
cold.
nature.
You
Right.
know,
Like,
I think that's why we're depressed. I think social
really
media is
seeing all
depressing. I think all of that is depressing. Yeah, I really do. I think that's why, because it's constantly thrown in our face. It's constantly thrown in our face, and if you could be in a good mood and get on social media, and it can mess up your whole
I agree.
flow.
I
Social
agree.
media is
Yeah.
depressing. If you really pay
Yeah.
attention to social media, everybody's fake, and social media is depressing.
Yeah. Yeah. It
And if
is.
you see
But
one person depressed, listen, if you see one post, somebody talking about depressed, your whole day you're going to see depressed posts. And
yeah.
now you're going to become depressed only because that it's jumped on you.
But I even remember a couple of years ago, I remember we were out to lunch, my family and I told them at the table that I was depressed. My cousin, she was like, shut up. Shut up. Don't say that. You are not depressed. Do not speak that into existence. Nothing is wrong with you. I was like, hold up. I'm telling you how I feel and you know my feeling. I see why people don't talk about the
Black
shit.
people.
I'm trying to
Black
tell
people.
y'all.
Hashtag
Right.
black people.
I'm trying to tell y'all I got issues and you telling me I don't. Well, okay. This is exactly why I don't talk to y'all asses
We
because
don't talk about depression. We don't talk about molestation. We don't talk about rape. We don't talk about
we don't talk
nothing.
about nothing. We don't talk
Right.
about anything. But
Right.
again, you know, I'm on so many when you say when I said about the girlfriend, so I am on so many family group texts about, you know, morning prayers, positivity, and every day I'm probably on 10 different group texts with the girlfriends, the family, but it's all positive. You know, it is
Does that help you?
it
Does
really
it help
does.
you?
It does. You know, sometimes it gets to be a lot, but what I do is I may not have to read it at that moment when they send it, but when I'm having a bad moment, I'll pull it up. So it definitely does help me when I get them from my girlfriends and my family. So it definitely helps me.
You definitely have to have a box for those days. For when you get down, you
Ooh,
got to have a box of let me reach into this for something because I need something to get me out the funk. Yeah.
We have a
yeah,
few comments here. Let me go back a little bit. So, let's see. Angela says everyone is feeling it in 2020 has not been kind. Just try to pass around as much positivity as possible. Rondell said, I work in the jail with clients who who are HIV positive, abuse substances, and so forth. Some of these people just want to give up, and it's my job to educate them on the importance of taking their medicine. If I don't balance myself and wasn't strong enough, my life would be hell. That's true. I always wonder about people that work in those in that field, including social workers, etc.
yeah.
I don't have the strength. I know I don't. Let's see. Some people are well not educated on depression because Krishna said religion often has Black folks in denial about mental health.
That's
Yeah.
true. That's true.
Andrew said, I don't talk to certain people for being judged. And oh, somebody says keep swiping. Shawnee said keep swiping. Life is what you make it. You know your limit. Yeah, to be honest, as far as like when I see depressing stuff on social media, I'm just like, why? Because my next question to you is, do you need to talk to somebody? Do you need some help? You know what I'm saying? Sometimes people put stuff out there, I believe, because they are seeking help. Or they may say, "Oh, I'm okay," but you just put this crazy post out here. You know what I'm saying? I need to, like, what's going on? So I think people like that, they may, want somebody to ask why or something like that, and to get some kind of help without saying, "Hey, I'm depressed," or I'm feeling some kind of way. A lot of people are just not honest about it, and but they need to be. They really need to be. It's sad. Social media, it can be depressing, but you know what, Latanya, you know what I say to that? I believe that, and I was talking about this yesterday. I literally believe that it is what you make it. It's how you deal with certain things, how you choose to deal with certain things, is what's going to make you or break you. You know what I'm saying? Like, because we all have, I mean, the reality of it is, like, I look at it like this. We all have problems. We all have bills. We all have somebody, you may not like your man today, something. We all have these things, but I think it's a matter of how you choose to deal with it, or it doesn't mean that you don't go through something, but it's how you choose to deal with it. I personally choose not to deal with it for long. Let me say that, because if I'm in it, I guess I am dealing with it, but I choose not to let it consume me or consume my day or days or whatever. I just can't do it.
I think that's easy to say for someone that's focused. That's not easy to say when people that deals with it. When you got it, you got it. I work with a lot of with a lot of veterans that deal with PTSD. And if you hear the things that they go through that happened to them 30 years ago and they're still dealing with it, it's easy for me to say that. I agree with you, but I also deal with a lot of people who don't think, and who doesn't think like that, and who's not focused, and who don't have positive people in their life, and they don't have. It's not as easy. I know some of the strongest people that I know who basically have the best jobs and everything, and they're still dealing with stuff, and it breaks them down because that one thing breaks them down and they don't know how to focus. So that's why with mental illness, we have got to be very careful of the things we say and how we say it, because it's like my son deals with depression, and I've helped so many people out of it. I can't help my son because I'm probably a part of his depression, and I can be honest with that and stuff. And so, but if you was to see my son, he works at the Pentagon. He's 30 and he makes six figures. He's married with kids. You would never see any of that. But when it hits him, it hits him. Yeah. Some of my closest friends are on medication. When it hits, it hits. So we can't say, because when you're in it, you're in it.
Yeah.
And we have to, like Trina. True. Trina, nobody would ever think that she has to cope every day, She goes to this every day because we see Trina. We see this loving person. But we're not with Trina by herself when she's at home crying. We're not with Trina when she's sitting in her car and she can't breathe and her chest is caved in. That's not us. So we have got to, as people, we have to start being very considerate and understand everybody is not like us. Right. And what we can do doesn't mean that they can do it.
Right.
That's true. Right.
That's very true. Because I had my grandmother, both of my grandparents are deceased now, both sets, I should say. But one of my grandmothers was diagnosed with bipolar even before I was born. It wasn't called bipolar then. They just called it crazy, right? I guess. Right. So, and, my family would tell me stories of how they would, my grandfather would tie her to the bed when he would go to work because he didn't want her to leave the house. I mean, it was all this just crazy stuff. And my cousins and I and my aunts, we could always tell when she was not taking her medicine. We could tell
Mm.
because she had been on lithium for, oh my God, had to be before I was in high school. But we could always tell, and we would always call it a thing. You know, mama's going through her thing. Did y'all get the 5 a.m. call? Mama's going through her thing. So we could always tell that. But for a long time, I thought I was bipolar. I went to the doctor because I was like, wait a minute, I got some of them ways. Now, is this shit hereditary? What can we take some blood? Can we figure out what is going on? And I'm not, but I do have tendencies.
Me
I
too.
do
We
have
all do.
tendencies.
We all do.
Yeah, I
Bipolar,
think
you're
so.
black. Bipolar, we all do.
Yeah.
We
Yeah.
all do.
Yeah.
Like, we all freaking do. I dated someone who got a nickname. I got like 3 different names with him.
Wow. Wow.
You know, we have, you know what? I think that we have to understand that bipolar means nothing as long as it's taken care of. You know what I mean?
Right.
We have to understand that we have to know how to love the people that's in our family that has it. We need to know how to tolerate them and love them properly and let them know that you're still a human being. And if I
Right.
choose to love you, we're gonna go through this together. I have a close friend, like a close friend I talk to every that's bipolar. And we done fell out a few times where she was like, fuck you, get the fuck out of my life, you fucking like everything. But now she's back into my life. She's been back in my life a couple times because I understand what I'm dealing with.
Right.
Because
Right.
when she's at her best, she will go hard for me like nobody else. You know what I mean?
Right.
I see what she has to deal with. I see what she has to tolerate. Her life is nothing like mine. She has a good life, but you know, she deals with a lot. So I respect that and I understand that because what I know more than anything, I got friends that's solid, they got no issues. They ain't never gonna have or family ain't never gonna have my back like she got me. So I can go through that. Tell me to fuck off. Excuse me, Pops. Tell me to fuck off. All right, I'll see you in 2 months.
Right. And you're right. We do have to be understanding and we have to be patient because with my grandmother, when I was in high school, I was like, and I was a grandma's baby because I was the
That was your
first
baby.
grandchild. So I was like,
Right.
okay, what is this shit? What we gotta do? What I gotta get? What I gotta, you know? So I'm like,
Right.
just what do I need to do to make you feel better?
Right.
I
And
just
guess
want to
what?
make you feel better.
We got mood swings too that people tolerate us that love us. We got mood swings. Like, Lord, my friends will tell you, listen, we got mood swings. So I'm just at this point in my life that we gotta be peaceful. We gotta be real with this stuff. And we gotta understand that we all deal with something and love will get us all through all. I don't know. That's just me. I'm just
No, but I think it's love and it's patience and it's understanding. You know,
right.
it's patience and it's understanding. Because I even have a friend who I think has some very serious mental issues. And
Mhm.
I always ask God, I'm like, okay, God, so why you put this person in my life? Because I don't understand
Right.
what this lesson is about. This person is mad at me one day and you know, screaming the next and loving me the next. I'm like, I don't know how to do that. So I already got my own damn issues I'm trying to deal with. God, what are you doing? But it's patience. It's patience. And I remember talking to my aunt about this. I'm like, what is God? What is this lesson that God is telling me with this person? And she said, it's patience. This God puts this person in your life to teach you patience. You have to have patience with everyone because you want people to have patience with you. So
And
this is why he's in your life. I'm like,
you got to know the difference with a toxic person and a person who is just dealing with something. It's a difference.
Yeah.
Let the toxic people go, but the loved ones that really that you know when they on a normal level, they treat you well, and it's a difference.
it
Because
is.
you got toxic people in your life that you need to be like bye, and not
Yeah.
think twice about it.
Exactly.
Never let them back, right? So
Yeah. Rondell said he believed that us as Black people are not educated on these illnesses. I
I
believe that's
agree
true.
totally.
Yeah, I
I
I
agree.
agree totally.
definitely. I agree. I agree. But I just think we need to talk about it. Like you said, you know, it's just in the past, families just swept everything under the carpet. You know, like I said, they didn't even tell me what my grandmother was. thought grandma was having a thing 2-3 times a year. I was,
A think tank.
you
It's
know,
called a think tank.
I mean, because that's what we called it. We called
No,
it
you're
a
right.
think
I think a
thing.
lot of people call it that. Like they was that, or they said, "Oh, the person's sick," or whatever. Yeah, it was definitely watered down.
Oh, it was way watered down.
Yeah,
Way
it was
watered down.
definitely watered down.
I mean, it was, some crazy things. And even now that I have friends that are diagnosed as, bipolar and they take medicine, I understand that because I lived that, with my
Yeah,
grandmother. So I can understand it and I'm sympathetic to it. And, I do my best to support them. But that patience, that ain't no joke. You definitely have to have patience with all of us, but whether you're diagnosed with it or whatever, I mean, we all need some patience. We need people to be patient with us.
I also think that we confuse some stuff too. Like um, we hold on to a lot of stuff. We hold as Black people. I'm gonna always talk about Black people, y'all, because I don't know nothing else. So as Black people, we hold on to a lot of stuff and we don't express ourselves. And so sometimes I think people may think that it's a mental illness, and it's not necessarily a mental illness. It's that you just need to release. You need to let go. That doesn't mean that you're mental. You just stop holding on to it. Just be who you are and release. Release and heal from your past. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
who cares what somebody said about you 20 years ago? It don't matter. Let it go. That's not you. You're no longer that person. And if you
yeah.
can get past that and simple stuff like that, your life will be good.
Yeah.
I
You
think
know?
I think people are scared to release because then it would mean something. Like it would mean they would some people, let me tell you something. Some people identify themselves by what they go through. And they have nothing else.
Huh? Wait,
What
Huh?
what
People love to be victims.
huh? Well, that's one example, but like what I mean is that you ever met somebody that's they identify themselves by what they go through. They
Like I'm a domestic violence victim.
yeah, almost, I don't want to say playing the victim, but it could be anything that they identify themselves with. So when you say to force well, not force, when you say to kind of like release yourself of stuff and of holding on to stuff, sometimes that's all they have to hold on, and it's scary to finally let something like that go, because what would that mean for my life? What do I do next? It's almost like let me see. You ever saw that movie Shawshank Redemption?
Yeah.
Okay. Remember when the guy got out of jail, and he was in jail for so long that when he got out into civilization, he got a job. He couldn't let go of the fact that he was a free man now, and so he kept asking his manager to go to the bathroom. He said, "Look, man, you don't have to keep asking me to go to the bathroom." But that's all he knew.
Right.
You know what I mean? And he that's all he knew. That's all he knew so bad that he couldn't cope with the outside world. That he wound up did he hang himself? He wound up hanging himself because he couldn't cope, because all he knew was that. All he knew was his trauma. And to let go of the trauma, you don't know what you don't know what you're gonna be. Hey, Ann.
I don't even think that that's just with trauma. I think that's just routine. When your life becomes a routine and if you've gotten away with doing stuff for so long and you have to change it up, it's hard. It's
Yeah.
hard. So it's not even with trauma. We do that every day as individuals. You know what I mean? Like when you start a new job and you've been working for the government for 20 years, or you've been in the military for 20 years and you got to go to a government job, you go through anxiety because it's something different. It's something new. When you have a child, that's something new. That's something when you start a new relationship, that's a new person. So you can't do the old things that you used to do and everything. So I think that that's kind of it. And it's so sad that people they feel like I'm so used to my comfort zone that if I leave my comfort zone, I can't cope. But when there's something better out there, you left that comfort zone for a reason, because the comfort zone wasn't good for you in the first place.
Right.
Right.
Right. But all that makes you, like you said, gives you anxiety. It gives you
Yeah.
depression. Again, when I quit my job 2 years ago, my lovely corporate cush job with a wonderful check that came in every 2 weeks. When I quit that and started my own company, I was depressed about it because I'm like, oh my God, this is something new. And you're right, it took me out of my comfort zone.
Take the word out
So
of depressed about that, because you wasn't depressed. You went through anxiety, and anxiety is always a negative thing. You went through stress, and it's not always negative. Take the word depressed, because that wasn't depressed. That was just a change that you went through, and it put you through something. You know what I mean? You understand what I'm saying? It was something that you wasn't used to.
well, I felt depressed. So I didn't get out of bed. I didn't get out of bed for days. But I get what you're saying. It was
Right.
just the change of my comfort zone.
Right.
But I do feel like it was a form of depression.
Because
And
you allowed
fear.
yourself to go into that funk and stay in that funk. That's
I
why.
stayed in there. Yes,
Yeah.
I stayed in that funk. But I think that change with anything is very difficult, and it can put you in something very, very quickly. And you have to, again, just like we just said with mental illness, you have to figure out a way, whether it's pray yourself out of it or whatever, screen yourself. Because that's what I did today. I have been in this house working for the past 4 days. I'm like, I just want to see people. I feel like, what is that movie? I want to see dead people, live people, any damn body. So you just, you get in a funk. You just really, really get in a funk. So I get, how people just get in that space, and sometimes it is hard to get out of that space because keep in mind, not everyone have these 3 girlfriends that we can talk about, or these comments that we can read to give us positivity, or those group text messages that say, "Get your ass up out of bed, make it happen, you're beautiful." So people don't have that, and for those people, we just got to keep praying for those people and help them the best way we can. Because again, like I had a girlfriend who I felt like she wanted to stay depressed and wanted to stay in a funk. She wanted to stay there, and I felt myself like going with her. And I'm like, wait,
No.
because you again, if that's all the person is talking to you about and telling you about, and that's all you hear from this person, you just like, look, I had to tell her after a while, I can be your friend, but it has to be from a distance. It has to be from a distance because I gotta save myself from you.
Right. From you.
Not from you.
I love it.
We have comments. First of all, thanks, girl. I love my hair too. Tammy Williams said change can be difficult. Tiffany said trauma changes the chemical enzymes in your brain, and when the trauma is not dealt with, it can manifest into depression, bipolar, and a host of other things depending on your mental capacity. You can heal if you admit, accept, and get help. Well said, Tiffany. Thank you.
Yeah.
Rondell, he said it was change. Shauna agreed with you, Trina. She's been working from home since March as well. Lewis said absolutely. It can also hurt you psychologically. I guess I don't know what you said.
Yeah, that's what he meant.
Also, yeah.
But yeah, so you have that. You have COVID. Then you can't see people. You may be single, so you're in the house by yourself. Then my aunt passed away, and that was just, oh my God, that was just devastating.
Why you throw the whole 2020 away, girl?
I mean, in the trash, just in the freaking trash. It is just so, girl. I don't know. All I know is 2021 has got to come with a bam. Okay.
Well, what do we have? Do we have any strategies that have been helping? Kind of get through some of this stuff besides the Good Girlfriend Network. Like, has anybody tried any strategies or?
Well, we only have a minute. So the strategy that I have again are my text messages, my girlfriends, and y'all know I'm going back to my daddy because I got to call my daddy every day because he's my number one fan. So And I just pray. I just pray every minute, every minute. So that's what I try.
Tanya?
Mine is meditating. And I got a circle of friends that we keep each other. We keep it. Yo, I'm about to turn 50 and I can't even celebrate my birthday. I had to cancel my birthday party today because of this COVID. And yeah, so my family's not here. I'm gonna spend my 50th birthday by myself. My friends aren't here.
Oh,
But I have a circle of friends who basically every day keeps me lifted. We keep each other lifted. We laugh, we talk mess, and we walk into our greatness. I'm a very spiritual person, so
yeah.
my faith and meditation is everything. Affirmations, writing in my journals is everything to me. So
My cousin has me doing that.
lighting my candles and
Oh, I like the
taking a lot of
candles.
showers help me.
Well, that helped me until my water bill was $600 one month. And
What?
yeah, girl, because I would take a bath and a shower after the bath and just all that shit.
That's rich.
And it was $600. So I was like, okay, we got to find a
You gotta pick a struggle.
Water is everything.
What?
You
You're
pay
right.
so it's every 3 months, isn't it?
What?
What?
The water bill. Isn't it quarterly?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But I had a month. I get it quarterly, but I had 1 month of $600.
You
That's
need
what
a
I'm
waterfall in your backyard or something.
I'm
to walk
saying,
into
we
your
know that.
water.
Oh, I got them now. When I come
Okay.
in the house, it's a waterfall.
Right.
When I go out back,
You need
it's
the
a waterfall.
waterfall. Right.
Absolutely.
Right.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
Shauna said she had to cancel her 50th too.
Yeah.
Today
Terrible.
is celebration today as well. Also,
Oh.
Happy birthday.
Yes, yes.
Oh, yeah.
Shauna, yeah. I like meditation. I like my therapy is music. I love music. God willing, they don't close this down, but I do go to the spa. I got to get my massages. I have to get treated. I got to get
a
served.
mobile one. Have them
Huh?
come to your house. Get a mobile one.
Yeah, they do have mobile ones. I mean, I go monthly too, Nikki. I go monthly too, but
I have to get those kinks out.
I would prefer that.
Reading positive stuff, like on bettering myself, trying to learn something new all the time. Because to be honest, while we're all sitting around, like we probably should all, in hindsight, we probably should come out with some kind of new skill or something. I mean, we should know, with this quarantine, we all should know something brand new. I don't know, but people have started doing all kinds of things. One of my girlfriends, she started, and I've yet to join, but I will one day, hopefully before we get closed down. She started doing double dutch, jumping double dutch, like the good old days.
I love that.
Yeah, so I was like, okay, put me in the group. I'll go probably once a month, whatever. But yeah, the double dutch, people are coping all kinds of different ways. Prayer helps, and for me, just being thankful for what I have.
Yeah.
Thankful, I mean, down to the little things like my edges. Thank you for my edges.
I know that's right. So is it anything during this COVID period, anything good that came out of this? For me, it brought me definitely closer and deeper conversations with my family and my friends, but it also brought me closer to myself. I learned a lot of things about myself that I can do that I thought I couldn't do, or that I don't need, that I thought I did need. So it definitely brought me closer to myself.
COVID has been, this 2020 has been one of the best years in my life, other than death. Me losing the people, other than me losing the people that I've lost, because I've had a lot of deaths due to COVID and whatever. Best year of my life. And it's getting better and better. And tomorrow is Friday the 13th, so I know it's about to be a bomb diggity.
Okay.
I don't know about the best.
I learned how to make blueberry muffins from scratch using almond flour.
Go ahead, girl.
Yay!
And if you need a taste tester, just let me know.
Oh yeah. Oh, I got it down pat. I so much so I do not think I need measuring cups. the next batch.
Oh yeah, you let me know.
I'm about to step it up though. I bought a loaf pan. You know? Maria, hey, welcome, Maria. Maria said 2020 has been great for her family as well. You know,
Yeah.
I could say for me too. I actually picked up more income. Praise the Lord during this. And you know,
Congratulations.
I'm just glad that I'm still afloat. You know, I'm able to pay all my bills. I'm still able to you know, grab some lobster tails if I want to. I don't have to I don't have to get lobster flavored. I can get lobster. Yeah, and yeah, and I'm just, for me personally, I have just been on YouTube doing a bunch of like little learning videos on how to make more money on Instagram, like whatever, like what's gonna sell, you know, things that we could do to enhance our show, you know, because we got to get ready for the big time. I feel it coming. I feel it coming.
Right.
So
Listen.
what?
Latanya, y'all know what I'm getting you for Christmas off the
sorry.
subject. She gets some. I said, I know what I'm getting you for Christmas off the subject. Some damn headphones. Because if that piece,
I have always hated headphones. I don't like anything in my ears. I hate it. So this is driving me freaking crazy. But let me say this, because I never shout out my girls. I have to say this because one of them texted me and I'm trying to pay attention and she's a straight clown. So I have to say to my two girls, Kimberly Ross, I love you, Treasure, and I love you, Mel. Like y'all are. I love y'all because y'all keep me whole. Thank you. Woo, sorry.
yeah.
Adrian,
she did. She had a moment.
I had a moment, y'all. Sorry.
Look, sometimes that's what happens.
Adrian then said and that's my big sister. She says shopping ministry is on hold, but savings are appreciating.
Yes.
Yeah.
I love that.
Well,
I love
yes, I've been able to save a lot of money.
Oh yeah.
They keep it inside, but you know, of course, sale after sale after sale. Also, too, I revamped my home. I'm almost done. During this COVID, I revamped. You know, I was doing it already a little bit before COVID because you know I felt that I wanted to entertain at home. But then COVID hit, but still I kept going because, you know, obviously, you know, property value and all that other stuff like that. But yeah, it's coming along. I got a few more things to do and I'm good. I mean, I'm as they say, blessed and highly favored.
Yeah, it hasn't been all bad, but it's definitely, I wouldn't say the best year of my life at all.
Right.
But I mean, I definitely would not say that, but I am just happy to be alive. That's for certain, you know, and healthy, and you know, I just want to be able to travel. I want to just be able to do the things that I, you know, normally just do. One thing it did show me, and my daughter kind of told me this too, is she said, you do travel all the time, but you need to be sure that you're traveling to see your family more. Her and my sister told me that.
Same thing.
So
I got the same thing, right?
Yeah, my daughter definitely, she's like, you know, you need to come to Miami 5 times next year when this COVID is over. I'm
Well,
like,
that's
okay,
wonderful. That's easy. That's done and done.
And another thing I want to say is you know, always I pray for people who live out of state, like my daughter who's, you know, living on her own in a whole nother state, a young girl who's used to her mother and her friend. Pray for all them people, you know, because they're going through, you know, some shit just like everybody else. But I'm definitely, and my sister asked me to embrace my hometown, Chicago, and come home more than twice a year. So I'm going to work on that. I'm going to do my best, but you know, that's not really my thing, but I'm going to work on it. But yeah, so in the last,
Rondell said, you see Rondell's message?
He has some
questions. Here we go. Here we go.
Rondell,
He's talking about Latrina and Latanya. He got some questions off the air. Well, that's fine.
Hit us up in the inbox together.
Yes, together. Inbox us together.
Not separately, together.
Right.
So you got to as a friend.
Not a problem. Not a problem. Just inbox us. But yeah, we just need to pray for everybody. We need to stay positive. You know, we only have a minute left on air. And this podcast actually helps me. It really, really does help me to be on this podcast every week, to talk to you guys, to be on here with you guys, to hear the comments. All of that really helps my mental. So I thank you for just the podcast.
Well,
So,
speaking of being thankful, why don't you tell them about our next week's topic?
yes, because next week is the week before Thanksgiving. So next week is blessings and gratitude. So that's what we'll be talking about next week's our blessings and gratitude. So tune in next week when ladies talk. You can follow me on Facebook, my government name Latrina Hunter, and Instagram Mama Bear 23.
Okay,
Nikki?
you can find me at Nikki Jules on all social media platforms, Instagram, Twitter, as well as Facebook. Check
You
us
can
this
follow
out.
me. It's your girl, Latanya Michelle at Tiger Eyes 360 Media Group. Trina, I just want to say, baby girl, I love you. And I thank you because I wasn't going to do the show today. And you called me and you showed me love. And I appreciate you for that. I truly appreciate you for that. And you got this because I got you.
Oh,
All right.
thank you. Love you. Love you. See you guys next week. Thanks
Love
for
you.
joining.
Bye.
Bye.